season of Overtime Champions. Yes, we are finally.
Funky gets a quad kill. Oh, big barrage on the side of Funky.
Welcome, everyone. It is March 7th here, and looking for gold scrims. We're in the playoffs, winter tournament, and I've got Mighty Owl here is taking care of all of our lobby needs, and I, Cajun Wise Guy, will be handling production tonight. But I am also joined with a friend, and Faye is going to be joining me in the casting tower today. Hey, we've got a good couple of teams here that are rolling into the playoffs, and right now we're going to be looking for map picks. We're going to get some map bans, and from there we can have a good discussion. But we've got Odyssey, Scylla,
many years of service.
and
You
Yar,
gave Overwatch
the Plunderers
everything,
themselves,
and then
the
they
Pew Pew
pushed you out.
Plunderers.
Why would
And
you go
thanks
back to that?
for joining us here tonight, Mr. Faye.
Yes, sir. It's always nice to be around.
So, that's it. You're leaving us.
I tell you,
I have been
we
called.
are in the playoffs.
I must
There is
answer.
a little
It
bit
is a
of
great
mix on the
Disappear
playoff
into
maps
some
are
secret
different than the
organization.
regular
Give up the
season
glory
maps.
of being a crusader?
And
I don't think so.
looking at that, looking at the playoff maps here are going, well, at least for Control, we're looking at Lijiang Tower, we're looking at Nepal, we're looking at Oasis. Those are the first three picks that we're going to be having here. And out of those, Faye, which would you prefer? What do you want to see the opening shots done tonight?
Man, that's a tough one. I am a huge fan of Lijiang and Nepal, but I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
Winston's message wasn't meant for you. This isn't
Yeah,
your
I
fight.
really
prefer
don't like-
not
oh.
to be on Lijiang. I think just
Papa
because
told me
I've seen
after
enough
so
of that
many
map over
years
the
of
last 10
service.
years.
You gave
Maybe we
Overwatch
could be,
everything, and then they
go
pushed you
somewhere
out.
else.
Why would you go back to
You
that?
know, I kind of like it.
Yeah, Oasis is good. I've always had a soft spot for
So,
Lijiang
that's
Tower,
it.
but that's
You're
probably because
leaving
it's
us.
where I got my first.
I have been called.
Ow,
I must
it's not-
answer.
It
is a
second
great
couple
honor.
kill as
Disappear
Reaper
into
early
some
on in Overwatch
secret
1's career.
organization. Give up
And
the
Lijiang
glory
has just
of
always
being a
had a soft
crusader?
spot for me. It was
I
one of the
don't
first
think
maps
so.
I learned how to play Genji on. I attempted Tracer, it didn't end very well. I met the Edge a lot, but I have a lot of love for
The
Lijiang Tower, so
Crusaders
it would
are
probably be what I
immortal
would like to see
defenders
first.
of Germany. People will be singing songs
Right, we've got
about
Mighty
our
Owl here on
legacies.
goal.
Our legacies are our deeds.
And
And this war is bigger than all of us.
it looks like
To the east, they're coming! All right, people, they're playing our song. Stick with your dance partners.
You can't
Let's
go
crush
wrong with
those
the
rust
classic. I
buckets.
hope to see a
Here's your
Reinhardt
walking
versus
stick,
Reinhardt
old
here.
man.
If any map is Ryan's
Live
map,
with
it
honor.
is definitely King Drill.
Dive is
A lot
glory.
of time was spent on Ryan's
We work as one!
do they? I guess maybe Mighty might want to chip in here. I was thinking they ran Control first, but actually off to Hybrid right away.
No, so these are the maps I can select from. You don't have to go in order, and that's part of the strategy.
Okay, so it's not broken down into the round order, so this is a they just have free reign on it.
Yes.
Ooh. That changes your question entirely then, Cajun. I think I'd like to see Junkertown.
Well,
These is information I did not know when you asked me
I
that
think
question.
once that particular map has been picked, though, then it's that style is out. So, but that'll be on the push side, yes. All right, so we've
Little
got bands
mantra
coming
band.
in here. What we got here? Looking for
Ramatra.
I'm curious to see if we see Bastion banned. Bastion was always a strong contender on this map. Interesting. Kiriko. Can't be mad about that. Her
Winston's message
Suzus do
wasn't
tend
meant
to
for
annoy me.
This isn't your
Best
fight.
DPS in the game here.
Papa told me after so
Yeah,
many
Blizzard,
years
if you're
of
listening, please nerf. Support should not be able to 2-tap
Pew
DPS.
Pew Plunders is opting to take Kiriko off the board, and Odyssey is sticking with Ramatra.
Am I like
Getting
that?
the rosters all kind of lined up here.
Figuring out who's playing what, where we're going. I'm still waiting. Oh, never mind. There's Batman. I don't have to wait anymore. Bruce Wayne has made an appearance.
Bruce Wayne is also GM on support. They kind of went goated.
Man,
Yeah.
couldn't be me. I touched Masters in Overwatch 1, told Cajun I was never playing again, and then disappeared for like 4 years.
Chee. And now you're in Stadium.
Stadium definitely brought me back.
Yeah.
Winston's
Although the
message
new
wasn't meant
heroes
for
they've added, I found myself
This
playing
isn't
more
your fight.
5v5 again just because Emery,
Papa
like, I
told
really
me
like the way
after
his
so
kit
many
works.
Years of service. You gave Overwatch everything.
Oh,
and then
Omega
they
Doggo
pushed you
says the
out.
cinematics
Why
in
would
the
you go back
background
to
is
that?
extremely loud.
Oh, Cajun.
I take it down.
So, that's it. You're leaving us.
I have been called.
It is pretty loud. Yep, let me crash that down. All right, so we've got the map selected. We've got the heroes banned. We just need to get both teams hitting the big R and getting into the fight here. And both of these
Kings
teams,
row.
again, we're looking at upper plat, low diamond. That's kind of the skill here. So we're going to be looking for good combos, good ult combos. We're also going to be seeing, some individual plays, seeing how well these teams can execute against the other team. Are we going to be seeing good counter picks? Are we going to be, trying to see which in this first fight, this first map, especially on King's Row, really sets the tone for both teams? And
Oh yeah.
whether
The first fight on the first map gives the teams a chance to poke and prod at each other's defenses, see where the weakness is at, where their strengths are.
here we go, King's Row.
Initiating match.
Curious to see what our initial hero picks are here.
Yeah, that's good. That's what's going to be really kind of dictating. Are we going to be just doing the old classic brawling it out? Are we going to have kind of a dive? So both teams have now got their picks on the board here. So definitely Sig. And we've got Fearless. He's going to be on Genji. Lucky all on Sojourn.
Infer on BAP, that is a choice I was not expecting to see this early. I mean, Immortality Field can come in clutch. You don't see very many BAP players anymore.
Yeah, and with the attack coming in, they could be playing for Window. Especially
Window can make a lot of space.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
we got Daphne sitting up defense right away, classic position. And it's going to be up to Keeg on Venture to maybe even make a little bit of space, see if she can get onto either the BAP early on, and with Ant on the new hero Domino.
No, Genji's shut Venture down. Said no thank you to the flank through hotel.
And they're going to have to be resetting here a little bit. Odyssey.
BAP just pouring in the heals any which way he can get it.
And I do like the selection of Ilari on for support here. She's so strong with that lamp, and it gives her that flexibility to just head out there. Lucky getting a great pick off Kig.
Yeah, that lamp provides a lot of extra positioning that the tank doesn't have to worry about cutting line of sight on the Ilari at all.
Ooh, fast feed evens it up right now. Now they really have to keep Daphne in this game here. Being half health, they got to play it. This is a test of the teams. Can you lose one person, still reset, still come back a little bit, maintain the fight without losing too many members here? So right now, both teams are playing really well here. They're being cautious, but I think now...
Ooh, an early ult from Sig. Might be seeing a dead Echo here. There we go. Oh, but Echo took Sojourn with him. We might be losing first point here.
Now here, I think where BAP really shines is when you breaking that lift out and you throw that lamp down at the bottom. Well, that could have saved 2 or 3 of your players right there.
Yeah, that would have been
to keep it going. So it's really a good counter to Sig, and Daphne is off of Sig onto Zarya.
They do have a lot of poke. Zarya can turn that extra poke back into damage, help stabilize.
And the cart is off and around the curve.
We're seeing some ults here. Copying Zarya with Echo. Window was used. They might be in some trouble.
Yeah, with Daphne kind of coming in late on the Zarya, we only 40% charge there. They are kind of behind on the charge, the ult economy. So they're going to need to get some individual plays here to kind of even this up. And right now...
Sojourn using ult to maybe zone? Seems to be working. Zarya's chasing the Sojourn down.
Yeah, this is critical. They stabilize right here and get that grav going. They're at 50% grav right now, so they might toss Fearless into the fire and have him ult just to see if they can get a pick. Slow him down a little bit here. So I would kind of be looking for Genji ult here pretty soon.
I do expect to see a blade from the back line. Then there it is. Oh, but the Lucio had beat ready to counter. Genji's gonna get told no. Back to spawn. Man, they are keeping the pressure on. They are not giving them any chance to regroup and get their thoughts together.
Larry goes down so quick.
Like, they are trying. They just cannot get 2 seconds to regroup. A lot of these fights are being taken down 1 or 2 people every chance.
And Ant holding it there.
Like, Ant is just pressure. It's just all pressure from Ant. There's no questions being asked. There's no introductions. It's just, here's a barrier, here's a magnum.
But now they do have Grav coming up, and they got 3 minutes on the clock. I know that from a time-wise, this is not where they wanted to be. Domina bringing out the ult early.
And getting the Kiriko helping get a pick with, I'm sorry, not the Kiriko, the Echo. We see the grab from Daphne.
But the lamp keeps them up. So, again,
man, that and Daphne off the edge. God, lamp can really make or break these fights. You have to watch for that cooldown. Plunderers still with 3 ults in the pocket.
Adaptive circuits engaged. This ends now.
Echo opting to copy a support here. Interesting to see where this goes.
And
That's
Pew.
like,
oh,
man, Pew Pew just said no thanks. We're riding to the end. They took that forward momentum from taking first point and just never let it go.
Switching sides.
so they've gone up 3-0 here. Are switching sides.
Curious to see if they hold the defense as well as they press the offense.
It's gonna be. It is gonna be interesting
No
here.
changes on Plunderer's side. We see Daphne swap back to Sig. Plunderer said it worked. It ain't broke. Don't fix it.
Quick update. So it is first to 3. I don't know what best of 7 is, but
Oh, I thought the playoffs was best of 7.
that'll be for the grand finals.
Grand finals. Oh, okay, well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to make a quick adjustment there.
Cajun needing to take notes.
One.
It's good. It's good.
Incoming. Defend objective A.
Really no swaps from either team other than the tank change. Oh, never mind. We saw Lucky pick Widow for half a second, then we'll go right back to Sojourn. Genji trying to pressure high ground. Sojourn doing their best to deny it. Plunderers are struggling a little bit here. They're taking a lot of damage, losing a lot of space.
Yeah, Daphne's making a great push here and playing
That
that
was-
corner very well.
Yeah, they've got Vap and Lucio kind of holding that edge of Hotel. Echo's going to try to get a pick here.
And I would say
Plunderers are kind of bringing it back. 2 down, pushing them back to spawn.
so. We've got Keeg on Echo, and I think that's an interesting pick here because which person is she going to be going after to get that good copy? You know, are they going to opt for, you know, that extra tank here? They're going to be going for that extra Sig and hoping for a quick lift. That would be my guess. And Echo is almost ready to bring it into a line here.
When you're in these defensive situations like they are now, I mean, Echo even copying another support can make or break a fight. We saw that on the attack when the Echo opted to copy Alari, got that ult to secure a kill. Odyssey going to throw a window from the top. Not really any line of sight on the enemy team there. I'm a little curious about that one. Echo did opt to copy the Sigma for the extra front line. Did not get a lift off, however.
And
Need someone to touch point here.
they're doing, yeah,
Objective lost.
but time bank is decent.
Yeah, still plenty of time to turn this around.
Now they've got get down the streets phase here.
Lambo Jambo hasn't died. That's crazy.
Has not.
That is crazy. Flambo Jambo has not died.
11k heals on BAP with 0 deaths. That is a BAP that knows how to maneuver the field. We are seeing a lot of forward momentum here from Odyssey, however.
Yeah, but Daphne's getting real low.
Yeah, they man. Flambo taking down not only the ulting Sigma, but securing the blading Genji kill too.
Team is stabilized for now, and it's back to spawn here. And they don't really have anything coming up on the ult rotation, so this is just going to be either a slow fight or just do a dry run and try to get Ant to commit to Domino ult early on.
Yeah, this could definitely be what CS refers to as an eco fight here. Just neither team really wanting to invest much into it. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Never mind, we see an early window from Infer.
I don't know if they're going to get the value they want out of that, but they do secure that corner.
Man, Flambo finally ate it from Lucky through that window. Maybe that's what they were looking for to get BAP out of the fight. No, there's the Domino following up from Lucio's as well. Echo opting to take BAP here. See, we might be seeing another window. Poor Genji's got to fight for his life.
Yeah, King was doing
Our odds just got better.
really
Flambo
good
came
there.
back with a vengeance. Man, a lot of teams, you cannot sleep on a good Baptiste. That is not only a lot of healing downrange, but a lot of damage you're not looking to take.
Yeah, he's Flambo Jambos again. Only 1 death, doing great. Max healer on the lobby so far at 12,000. Switching over here to Daphne. Looking at they're gonna be the mistake. They gotta be careful here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stand in front of those windows.
But did the right thing. Push through the window. Get on the other side of it. Unfortunately, with the barrier coming out.
Man, Ant just like sixth sensing exactly where and when these barriers need to go down.
Yeah, it's now we're all in. It's smoke 'em if you got 'em stage, because
This is
we're 20 seconds and Daphne's rolling up on 90%, and we know Flambo Jambo is gonna be Flambo Jambo is gonna be waiting on that lamp.
We do see two picks early, one on the Genji and one on the ulting Sojourn. My apologies, that was Plunderers Sojourn that ulted. Odyssey's Sojourn never had a chance to hit Q.
King's
Man, that
Row
Echo
out
just
of the way, and going to Pew Pew Plunderers direction, and somewhat of a convincing fashion, I would say, with being able to push it all the way through, and Odyssey really didn't have a good. Wasn't even able to get through the streets phase. So for King's Row, that's a pretty dominating performance there by the Plunderers themselves.
And you love to see those good fights on King's Row. It makes you miss the glory days of Overwatch.
And we're waiting on map selection here.
What do you
Yeah,
think we're
okay.
going to see for the next one?
Quick thing, Cajun. So, the people that are spectating on Twitch, they said they'd like first person if possible, and then when you're on the player spectating, there's a player card, and you on left control, that'll get rid of the card.
Okay.
And then someone said that your source is set to 900.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
normal.
Okay. Down to OBS settings. Okay. Those are the only things. Thank you.
All right, we've got map selection coming up here. Let's see what we've got here. No big. Odyssey's their map pick or hero ban. So they can open up with one or the other. Can't do both, but they can pick one or the other. And right now they are contemplating what they need to adjust here.
I would be surprised if I don't see them opt for a hero ban on Domina here.
Yeah, they did pretty well.
If not Domina, then maybe the Echo. Echo was putting in a lot of pressure from whatever angle they were trying to come in.
Yeah, we've got no selection here yet so far, but looking back, we did give the supports a lot of attention in King's Row, and fair enough. I think they were making the bigger plays of King's Row. We saw windows. We saw great use of the lamp that negated grabs, negated lifts. So will they stick with the BAP on other maps? Well, that's to be found. That's to be seen here. But so far, I think the biggest adjustment has to be made by Odyssey. And are they going to be running a little faster style of game? And if they do, I think that's why they're taking probably a little bit longer than normal to do their map selection, which is coming into play here. I think technically the rules say you've got a minute or so, but
Correct.
we're pushing that a little longer. But we might want to give them a gentle prod, a gentle reminder that
And it's probably a hard choice for them too. I can only imagine what their comms sound like right now.
it's gonna be the first round jitters can always get the teams, right? You wanted to come out with your particular comp setup. You wanted to pick. So we're going off to Lijiang Tower.
You love to see it.
Lijiang Tower. Now we're gonna be going for the hero bands.
Might even see a Lucio ban here with all the cracks and crevices a Lucio can push your team off the map with.
Well, let's talk about which hero would you not want to face in organized team play on Lijiang?
On Lijiang, Mei, honestly. I could care less about getting booped off the map, but a well-placed Mei freeze can completely just destroy any advancement you're making.
Waiting for those hero bands to be coming in here. They've got to be having some good discussion here. Will they take away Domina that was, ran by Odyssey?
Well, with it being Plunder's hero ban, I don't think we'll see Domina. Ant was making some space.
Both teams really going through their thought process here. So that means when you're taking this much time, you know that plans did not go as you expected, because you're having to make these adjustments kind of on the fly, as you will, going back to what didn't work. That's the interesting thing for Odyssey. What didn't work for you that you had to basically kind of take your game plan and throw it in the garbage and start from scratch, saying, hey, we got to really be on our map selection here. We really need to think about this. What are we going to be running? So I think there's a lot of internal discussion here. That they were able to select Li Zhang, and now they're waiting to see what Plunderers is going to toss them. All right, Plunderers is tossing Genji. Now we're waiting for one more to come in here. As Mighty is gently encouraging them that, yes,
Yeah, I
time
sent
is
a
an
DM.
issue here.
Yeah, I sent a DM to Keegs, and Keegs said, "Important match, lots of think."
Well, that's why time is a factor. The better teams, you're not going to get an hour to handcraft, what you're going to
The
do
perfect
here.
defense plan, yeah. But on that note, why use many word when few word do trick?
Yes. Also, Cajun, if you want me to cast, I saw that I was set to play-by-play. I certainly can. I don't want to. I want to make sure that you're. I want to
You
add
can jump in
the
here
least amount of.
anytime. It's
I'm
just
sa-
I just put you there to make sure that if you
Okay.
jumped in, you were there.
Okay, cool. I want to not put too much stress on you when it comes to like doing both.
We're doing good here.
Yeah.
We're doing good here.
Solid.
Little adjustments in game. I gotta get my first person. Every time I went to, it kept putting me in third person, which was new to me, and I didn't want to get too crafty with it.
I believe it's spacebar to quick swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
between
should
first
be.
and
It
third.
should be. Yeah. So.
But then again, you were also a Quake player. For all I know, your spacebar could be your ult.
Yeah.
LOL.
I can't say anything. Cajun and I both move forward with the same button, but I'm fairly positive my ult is in a different spot than his is.
Nice. And say my hero selection is literally the home button. I don't press H. To
Mine's
select
still
my hero.
I went and
H.
checked my controls there. All right.
I'm
So still waiting on that hero ban. I tell you, this is they're handcrafting this hero ban. They've got the hot glue gun out.
we did see a Domina ban.
All right, Domina.
Man, they must have really been debating that one for a while between either Domina or maybe even BAP. Flambo Jambo was putting in a lot of work on BAP.
And we're heading off. Getting Mighty's chicken. See if there's any roster changes here. Okay, so we did get Genji out of the way. Got Domina out of the way. So now we're what do you expect with either of these teams? Are we going to be seeing both a dive heavy? Are we going to be seeing a rush heavy? Brawl. What are your expectations coming into this, Faye?
I kind of expect to see brawl here out of the Plunderers. With as well as they move together through both the attack and defense, a brawl heavy comp from them would be a force to be reckoned with.
And again, the onus is going to be on Odyssey to make the biggest adjustment. For Plunderers, I think they can keep doing what they're doing. You know, their backline is doing extremely well, and looks like we're finally at the ready stage. We're going to be going into Lijiang Towers here.
I am super excited to see how this plays out, especially after the just bull rush we saw on King's Row.
Right.
I expect Odyssey to be coming back with a vendetta. Oh god, there's an Overwatch hero named Vendetta. No.
Right, we've got Odyssey committing to the ready. Got Plunderers still debating if they're ready or not. Again, these are the playoffs. It is first to 3. And so Plunderers is already a good 33% of the way there, so having you know, that long discussion for Odyssey to go through and really kind of settle out what they need to fix here.
It is definitely going to be a treat to see what Odyssey pulls out here.
We've got some picks. Ant is cycling through the dive tanks. Like we've got settling on Winston. Keeg back on Echo.
4, 3,
And here we go.
Round 1.
Lambo Jambo on Kiriko. Daphne pulling Zarya back out. And we do see a vendetta from Odyssey.
Well, with a vendetta, you know, you have to really be going after the backline pretty aggressively. You can't be sitting there. And right now, Omega
Sojourn picking up 2 picks for Odyssey there.
So this long discussion, it looks to have paid off.
They have come back with a vengeance. They are angry and they are ready for redemption. Lucky coming back as Echo. I'm sorry, Freya. I'm looking at the wrong heroes here.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be paying off here on Omega being on Vendetta. That is kind of how this team is living and dying, because she's going to dive into the back line, picks up a bubble, gets charged over to Daphne, and that's how they're just going to kind of run this team right now. So now it's going to be up to Winston here. He's making some space right now, trying to get in.
Does have to pull out. Quarter of his health bar remaining.
Yeah, right now 45% already on the clock here. So Odyssey's, all the cards here on Odyssey's position. Can they, Odyssey, Omega going down. Now it's up to Odyssey to see if they can't hold it, but with their takedown, their DPS down, I think this is a point flip for the Plunderers. But
yeah, Odyssey pulling back to regroup.
Yes.
Freya taking some pot shots here to kind of keep a little bit of space.
70% though on the board. That's not bad at all. That is
No, that is
bad.
nothing to scoff at. Vendetta looks like moving in. No, whole team coming from the white room flank. Vendetta yeeting herself into the void.
Yeah, now this is a reset. Odyssey's got to reset quick here, or just kind of hold pad, because I don't think it's real hard to get a pick while you're in that room.
Yeah, it is a tough choice here. Do you continue trying to poke for a little bit of extra ult charge, or do you just hold face and just wait for the regroup?
Well, we're gonna be right now.
Dual Kiriko ults.
It's all the way up to Daphne to get that charge quick, get to grab, because grab is that fight.
Grab will make or break this fight here, especially with Vendetta being in the middle of it. It's a good way to get a lot of damage quickly onto the enemy team. We do see Ant trying to hold point here as Winston succeeding.
Yeah,
it
doing
looks
a great
like.
job. Doing an excellent job right now.
Gonna pop Primal Fury for that little bit of extra sustainability.
Oh, Odyssey wants to flip it. It's so close. But the counter
We may
keeps
not
going up.
see a flip here. We are already at 80% for Plunderers, and Echo going to copy the Zarya to give Winston a bubble for some help.
Odyssey, so close, but not quite. That might have been their big chance there.
A danger for
So it's going to be, can Daphne get any value out of this grab?
Hunting them down.
Freya clearing Flambeau out of the map. Plunderers looking to be holding this here. Daphne gave it a solid try, grabbing in overtime to hold just for a little bit longer to let the team get back, but it just was not enough.
Score 0-1.
All right, Plunderers. This was very, very close. You know, they took a lot of time between maps. Odyssey came in, they had an adjustment, and they had a game plan. You know, we did see where Omega, you know, that's the kind of the problem with Vendetta. The adage is live by the sword, die by the sword. But in this case, Omega was just got a little bit too far out of there, got picked, and then Daphne fell right away. And they just never could get back in. So now,
yeah, it's hard on the team when the tank goes down. You really have to adjust your play style when your tank drops.
and
Daphne does get a pick on Venture.
They're sticking with their game plan. They feel that it could have worked. Maybe just a little execution went wrong here, but the strategy is right.
It does appear to be working in their favor here. They are pushing Plunderers back to spawn right now. But we might see it get turned around here. Only Daphne and Fast Feet left to guard the point. Vendetta returning. But all of Plunderers are getting ready to push in on 3 of Odyssey.
Yeah, they can still. Yeah, I was gonna say they can still tap it a little bit. And keep
Which, I
up
mean,
with
as
this.
quickly as they took that first point, I mean, 15%'s not a lot as far as number-wise go, but, I mean, they rolled in, they said this is ours, and they fought for it.
Right now, Ant was holding that ground, but Lucky came in and
Feeling better.
able
Lucky
to get a
reminded-
critical pick. That's a critical pick there. With Ant going down, they can take advantage of this right now. Their tank's out of play, will be for a little bit. Flip the point.
And that looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Lucky securing another shot on Venture, reminding you why you do not stand in front of a charged railgun.
Now it's going to be up to Ant. We've got Grab on deck, ready to be used here. They need a good combo. They've got Keeg on combo.
We gonna see Grab venture here. Never mind, didn't need it. Ant threw Grab and just said, I'm taking you with me. Plunderers pulling back in once again. Just rolling through Odyssey.
And counters going up here pretty good. And you've got good pockets here in alt. You know, just sitting here being in there. And Keeg using it here along with the rush. You don't need to get kills here. You just need to buy time. Keep them out of the spawn. Whereas the Grab had to get kills.
Here comes Odyssey's own Kiriko rush. Lucio gonna counter with beat here. Daphne's Grab is unfortunately gonna make no kind of effort there. That was just an unfortunate timing on the Grab.
Odyssey flips the point though. And convincing fashion. They've got good couple ults. They've got that sound barrier to keep them going, so they stand
still
a good
holding
chance,
beat,
a real
still
good chance to even
holding
up.
Yeah, still holding beat, still holding railgun or overdrive from Sojourn. We'll see a Vendetta ult here, maybe a good chunk of damage, if not a pick. Man, Lucky took two, went down with a fight. Odyssey is not happy about the situation they have been put in, and they are going to make sure it is known.
Right now, Daphne just holding that line. They're getting at the 90%.
Ooh, we'll see the Grab pick up the team, though. 80%. 99% on Odyssey, 80% over here on Plunderers. There's still plenty of time for Odyssey to come back.
But they don't, what do they got to work with? Those are just going to have to be really tight here, because I'm thinking that King on Sojourn.
And real quick with that target prioritization on the Vendetta that overextended. Might still see the flip here.
Efficient design at work.
You're going to be up to
Never
Lucky to make a
mind.
big play.
I'm pretty sure that Kiriko rush just negated any forward momentum Odyssey had here.
Well, we've seen this name before.
My gift to you.
Great job again by supports.
Just throwing the heals when it was needed and applying pressure to the Zarya that was in their line. You love to see it from a good Kiriko.
But now the back's up against the wall here. They took so much time previously that, you know, they've got, what do they got in the tank? What are they going to throw up against wall here? So it looks like they might be calling for a little bit of an intermission here. But both teams don't need to elect to take it, just if they want to. They could just take it as a timeout on the field, use that time to do it. But I agree with Kig. You know, the Plunderers are opting to keep that momentum going. Let's not give Odyssey a chance to.
This is one of those situations you don't want that break to give the enemy team time to recoup after what you've just done to them. Keep that forward momentum, keep that forward pressure.
Now, I don't know if one team can hold the veto card here. Can one team just say, "Hey, we don't want to break," and the other team says,
Yeah, if any team wants if any member from any side wants a break, then the break automatically happens. So just because PPP doesn't want to have a break, if Odyssey wants one, then it happens. But knowing how long they take on map selection and hero bans, it's probably gonna be a 20-minute break. LOL.
Give them some credit. 25 minutes at least.
Cajun, I don't know if you saw, but so there's a player card. Unfortunately, it's an automatic thing that pops up. But if you press left, only in first person.
I pressed left control. It didn't go away, so it might be bound to
Didn't go
something
away?
else. Or at least I forgot to do it when I was, because I was usually trying to set up the play, trying to see who was alting. But I did take a note of this. You did remind me that last, and I didn't execute well on that. So I'm gonna.
I'll see if I can find that option for you, Cajun.
Get that little. Well, it should be on my screen. It probably is control. I thought I hit it, and it didn't go away, so I didn't go hunting for it. But this is definitely a mistake on my part. But we'll make that adjustment here next match. Oh. Odyssey is gonna elect to take that, and I think we'll head into intermission ourselves. We'll grab a little drink here, and we will be back in 5 minutes or so.
When you see the red, it will be from 4 to 7 seconds before the green, and the start of the 76th lap. European Grand Prix. Cross gets away well, so does Hill, so does Schumacher, and Wendlinger is coming up well. Senna is crowded out and is down to 5th position, and Wendlinger is up into 3rd place ahead of Schumacher. Brilliant start by the Austrian driver in the black Sauber. Prost leads, Hill 2nd, Wendlinger is 3rd, and Ayrton Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher and challenging Wendlinger as they go round the right-hander into the old hairpin. Senna is up to 3rd.
And after being grounded at the start, a quite brilliant couple of corners by Ayrton Senna. Tremendous stuff. He muscled his way back into the contention at Redgate. He's going inside Damon Hill. And Senna into 2nd place already. And he's giving it absolutely everything in the wet part of the race.
So now, as before, the two green rivals, and that's Andretti. He's done it again on the very first lap. Andretti is out as he was in Brazil, as he almost was in South Africa. 3 Grand Prix, and he has only done 3 full laps. And so out is Wendlinger. So 2 retirements already. Michael Andretti and Carl Wendlinger, and Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost, so the McLaren leads. Prost 2nd, Hill is 3rd, a tremendous gap between the 3rd and 4th cars.
Yes, that must be caused by the Andretti and Wendlinger incident. We would assume that they may have had a coming together. We'll try and find out. Senna going away, but I expect that Damon Hill will be looking for a way past his team leader Alain Prost, who doesn't like the wet and won't be in a hurry.
When you see the red, it will be from 4 to 7 seconds before the green, and the start of the 76th lap. European Grand Prix. Prost gets away well, so does Hill, so does Schumacher, and Wendlinger is coming up well. Senna is crowded out and is down to 5th position, and Wendlinger is up into 3rd place ahead of Schumacher. Brilliant start by the Austrian driver in the black Sauber. Prost leads, Hill 2nd, Wendlinger is 3rd, and Ayrton Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher and challenging Wendlinger as they go round the right-hander into the old hairpin. Senna is up to 3rd.
And after being grounded at the start, a quite brilliant couple of corners by Ayrton Senna. Tremendous stuff. He muscled his way back into the contention at Redgate. He's going inside Damon Hill. second place already, and he's giving it absolutely everything in the wet part of the race.
So now, as before, the two great rivals, and that's Andretti. He's done it again on the very first lap. Andretti is out as he was in Brazil, as he almost was in South Africa. 3 Grand Prix, and he has only done 3 full laps. And so out is Wendlinger. So 2 retirements already. Michael Andretti and Carl Wendlinger, and Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost, so the McLaren leads. Prost second, Hill is third. A tremendous gap between the third and fourth cars.
Yes, that must be caused by the Andretti and Wendlinger incident. We would assume that they may have had a coming together. We'll try and find out. Senna going away, but I expect that Damon Hill will be looking for a way past his team leader Alain Prost, who doesn't like the wet and won't be in a hurry.
When you see the red, it will be from 4 to 7 seconds before the green, and the start of the 76th lap. European Grand Prix. Prost gets away well, so does Hill, so does Schumacher, and Wendlinger is coming up well. Senna is crowded out and is down to 5th position, and Wendlinger is up into 3rd place ahead of Schumacher. Brilliant start by the Austrian driver in the black Sauber. Prost leads, Hill second, Wendlinger is 3rd, and Ayrton Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher, and challenging Wendlinger as they go round the right-hander into the old hairpin. Senna is up to 3rd.
And after being crowded at the start, a quite brilliant couple of corners by Ayrton Senna. Tremendous stuff. He muscled his way back into the contention at Redgate. He's going inside Damon Hill. And Senna into second place already. And he's giving it absolutely everything in the wet part of the race.
So now, as before, the two great rivals, and that's Andretti. He's done it again on the very first lap. Andretti is out as he was in Brazil, as he almost was in South Africa. 3 Grand Prix, and he has only done 3 full laps. And so out is Wendlinger. So 2 retirements already. Michael Andretti and Carl Wendlinger, and Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost, so the McLaren leads. Prost second, Hill is third. A tremendous gap between the third and fourth cars.
Yes, that must be caused by the Andretti and Wendlinger incident. We would assume that they may have had a coming together. We'll try and find out. Senna going away, but I expect that Damon Hill will be looking for a way past his team leader Alain Prost, who doesn't like the wet and won't be in a hurry.
When you see the red, it will be from 4 to 7 seconds before the green, and the start of the 70s.
All right, everyone, we are back here with Pew Pew Plunderers versus Odyssey, and Plunderers up 2. And right now we've got Odyssey making their map choice, and last time they took a good while to contemplate what they wanted to pick, so this time comes through a lot quicker here. We've got Syrvasa.
It is the number 1 picked map.
As the number 1 picked map. Whew.
I don't understand the logic behind it. I'm not a huge fan of Syrvasa myself.
I've come to like it. I really did, because you've got a lot of different ways you can play this map. You can play it slow, you can play it fast. You're not chopped up so much, so now we're just waiting for the good old hero bands to come into play.
Who do you expect to see here? Like, Ant has already proven tank does not matter.
Not entirely sure yet.
Like, it is so hard to kind of think of what they may try to do here, because Plunderers is showing it does not matter. They will make it work.
Yeah, the individual skill here coming out from Plunderers has been a factor.
Thank you.
And Odyssey has to play extremely tight as a team and be diligent about not overextending, because when we see Odyssey overextend, now and I liked what they did with Vendetta, don't get me wrong, that by design you're going out there. Then they played it very well. But when they lose control, Odyssey struggles in the down fight. They struggle in going back into getting into control again. So in the neutral fight or the initial fight, they're even. But it's when they get on the downside and have a tough time. So they're going after ball.
That is interesting.
And we've got Odyssey now with their pick. But Suravasa, again, plays very well for ball because he can be everywhere. He can be so disruptive. He can hang around the point.
This is very true. Ball can be a nuisance here.
This is why people don't like Wrecking Ball on Suravasa. He's so mobile that he can be such a disrupting factor to the back line. I can see why they would take him away.
Ball is very good at distracting your back line when your front line's not paying enough attention.
Now it's up to Odyssey. Again, they can't ban a tank. Odyssey has to ban a DPS or support, if I remember the rules right. So
Yes.
they're not going to be banning another tank. That is the advantage of banning first. You get to pick, the class.
We've got someone in chat here calling for. There's the Echo ban I've been expecting to see.
Yeah, Echo.
Someone in chat calling a reverse sweep here. Curious to see if Odyssey pulls that out.
Yeah, PPP, they have gotten reverse swept. It was twice in a row. So they have a bit of a reputation for getting reverse swept.
We might see the curse broken
And
here.
we've got Fearless coming in for Daphne, it looks like. So Batman is making some changes here for Odyssey.
You misspell one hero name and they bench you for it.
It's a brutal team there.
There is no room for grammatical errors on Odyssey.
All right, both teams we're asking if they're ready. And it's going to be off to Suravasa. Match point here for the Plunderers. See if they can close this out 3-0. Remember, this is the early part of the playoffs. Finals you need 5 wins, but here you need 3. 3 wins, and that punches your ticket up to the next round.
Do we see a 3-0 win here, or does Plunderers get reversed? Wow, English is not my strong suit today. No. Or do Plunderers get reverse swept here and continue the trend?
All the cards are with the Plunderers right now. They've shown that they can take Odyssey's map pick, their bans, different play style. But Suravasa is very well chosen. It's the most chosen map, and there's a reason for that. And I love Flashpoint gives the team a lot of strategic options. They don't need to commit ults to a point. Sometimes you just, if you have control of the point and you're going to lose it, or the chances of being able to really take that point back, you can just do a dry run into them, get ults out, don't commit any of yours, so that you have the ult economy up when you roll into the next map. Or you can decide, hey, we really want this point. Maybe you want to take first point really badly. So I like Flashpoint for the dilemmas, not problems, dilemmas, trade-offs that it causes teams. What set of trade-offs do you want to live with? And,
yeah, you really do have to kind of plan, like, Flashpoint can go so quick. You have to make those second decisions, and they need to count.
Ready for battle.
All right, we've got both teams got everything kind of sorted out here.
Key's going to Tracer since they can't go Echo, and we're seeing Cat here. This will be interesting.
Well, yeah, we've got a first appearance here, but remember we did have Odyssey change their lineup here. So Lucky is now on tank, and we've got
Lucky
Fearless on
off of DPS on tank. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see with the Doomfist pick. Man, Plunderers just getting hammered right now.
Vendetta is doing a lot of work, but Omega's barely hanging on there with. And Omega, are they hanging in here to take this first point? They do, or at least, well, they grabbing some percentage. Not quite yet committed to rolling up there. And with
Ant will pick the Vendetta up, however.
And it's Odyssey's really kind of running, I wouldn't say a chaos comp, but they're running a highly mobile. They've got Doomfist, they've got Vendetta. The downside is your team has to coordinate all those fast moving parts. Whereas
it is definitely going to be a strain on Lucio and Kiriko to keep those highly mobile heroes like topped off and ready to go.
Yep. They can hit hard, they can hit fast. Whether they can stay in the fight, well, that's the big question. And we're looking at Lucky here to kind of really make or break that first big thing, because as Doomfist, get in there, push somebody out of place, and then we've got Omega here on Vendetta, really looking to get those picks on somebody that's not there. So 67%, 70%.
They're holding really well here. Odyssey needs to make some space, make a play.
And oh, they're holding in. See, now I was worried. Do you commit ults? Do you commit ults to take it?
Odyssey does get the flip here.
Well,
might be seeing a hold. They are holding them a little far. Plunderer making the split here to re-secure the point while no one is on it.
And that's where I like to see that. They're being aggressive. They're dictating the terms of the fight. Now they got to hang on. It's 99. It's coming down to just one big play here.
And I think Odyssey's going to keep it here. We've got a lot of ults being thrown from both teams.
And will Ant be able to kind of single-handedly just kind of stay there, be a big presence?
It does look like Ant is commanding that space and is refusing to give it up. No, but we do see Ant go down and Odyssey hangs on to it.
And this is great for them, and they had the Plunderers commit to ults on a point they did not get. So committing ults and getting the point is okay.
Yeah, Odyssey pulling all of those ults out of Plunderer there is going to make this fight a lot easier for them. We do see a swap Yako off of Sojourn onto Genji.
We've got Flambeau Jambo in the back line there, just again holding this backline support of Lucio and Kiriko's doing a lot of work here. And they, as long as they keep the percentage going, again, they don't have to kill somebody, just buy time. But Odyssey making a huge push here. Now just Genji on point, getting a few extra percentage, but it looks like they're gonna flip the point there. That's great play by the Plunderers, though. You notice that they sent in one, then they sent in Genji, then they sent in Tracer.
Strung out those fights. Let the highly mobile heroes keep that
Yeah, give them an extra 20%. That maybe they. Now can Odyssey flip this around?
Ooh, Omega does pick up Lucio on the push. Teams are relatively even here.
We've got Rush coming up for Kiriko. But right now, Omega doing a lot of work here on Vendetta. Getting into that backline. And Odyssey likes to contest you early and often. Once they have control of the point, get in their face. Don't give them time to set up. Don't give them time to stage. And get after them.
Definitely applying the pressure exactly when it needs to be applied, keeping Plunderers on their toes. No angle is safe.
And there they go. Another point in the Odyssey bucket.
Did Eddie call it? Will we be seeing a reverse sweep here from Odyssey?
It's going to come down to Ant. He's off dominant now. I mean, he's got... if they're going to make a run here, they've got to have a decisive win. Most importantly, if they get this point, they got to have something in the tank. Because now that you're up 2-0, you can elect to not take this point and just roll into fourth point with a bank of ults.
Odyssey is going to go ahead and start capturing the point. Lucio holding the back.
That was a lot of time for Odyssey to cap, and in that time, the Plunderers were able to...
That time is valuable in Flashpoint. They left so much open space there.
Yeah, and the Plunderers got ult charge.
Ant is going to grab here. Lucio's going to pop beat to keep them in it. We do see Vendetta go down to Blade.
It's just Doomfist alone on point, so...
Plunderers is going to say, this is ours now. But Plunderers invested a decent amount of ults into that fight. Odyssey still has 2 in pocket.
And that all came from... the Plunderers
just that little
Lucio
bit of time.
Buying so much time in the backline for Plunderers to just get that ult charge going. So now it's up to Odyssey. Are they going to really go after this point, dump everything into it?
Ant is kind of left alone on point here. Both supports down.
Now Plunderers are up against the wall here. They don't have control of the point. They do have Venture. They do have Venture ult. I don't think it's going to get a lot of value here. And Odyssey is sitting on some good ults here.
Odyssey does have enough ults in the pocket and about to come online to really make a hold here. The early pick on Ant from Vendetta.
Omega doing work here in the back line.
That is going to be it.
Odyssey.
Wow, Odyssey takes it.
Ant couldn't carry the team.
But Odyssey now gets points on the board.
Honestly, I probably would have gone with a brig to deal with the diving.
Man, you love to see it, though, when a team just makes a comeback of epic proportions.
But now the Plunderers role switched a little bit here. It's their map selection, an area haven't seen tonight. So we get to see how they choose their map. Are they going to put a lot of thought into it, or are they already kind of, you know, all right, we already kind of know where we want to go here. We kind of know, hey, what heroes we want to ban. So
I hope they don't pick Blizzard World, but they just might. They haven't had a good win rate on Blizz.
yeah, when it comes into maps, you know, are the team captains doing
Blizz
some
isn't even
research?
there.
Now, are they doing some research? Are they picking maps that the other team might not be good at? Because that's always that's a choice.
We either have
Junker-
push or okay, so it's Junker, Root, or Watch Point.
Oh, we're
Ooh,
going
gonna
to
get some
Junkertown.
Sniper mod. Fun.
We're off to Junkertown for escort here.
Junkertown. The night is so pretty.
And now we got the band selections coming in.
Who do you expect to see here? I'm kind of expecting to see possibly a Zarya ban here from either team.
Ooh.
A lot of nice wide open areas for a well-placed grab to just completely ruin a push.
But both teams love to use Zar. So is that something? All right, so they've gotten Diva out of the way here.
Odyssey is going to ban Diva. Plunderers is going to say no more Vendetta.
that is not a surprise at all. I think Vendetta,
Especially after what we just saw Omega do in that last match.
yeah, was huge. So I'm a little surprised on the Diva. We haven't seen Diva tonight, so now with Odyssey picking Diva, what do you want to run when Diva's not there? I think that's the way they're attacking.
Well, that
this.
opens up that opens up no block or no eats for freeze, grav. Really, any projectile-based ult is now just fair range.
You know,
a lot of hit scans. We might see a soldier or another sojourn here.
Because Fearless and Omega are DPS to be reckoned with. And with Diva out of the way, you could be going more hit scan heavy with, Sojourn we've seen a lot of action tonight. Yeah.
That could also be why the preemptive Diva ban, Odyssey may have known that the Vendetta ban was coming and wanted to get a tank out of the way that could ruin a hit scan's day.
Odyssey is choosing to defend on first round. And we'll see because keep in mind, Odyssey made a change up on their lineup. They had Fearless come in. And it looks like Batman's coming in for Fearless. I would have thought they would have kept the same lineup. You know, kind of, hey, we had success with this lineup. Let's stick with it. So we're having Fearless come out. And Fearless was the Tracer doing a lot of work here. And now we're making another little lineup here for Odyssey, so
maybe Batman's just itching to get in there and
Clutch
secure
for the
another win.
team.
well, now is the and Junkertown. Waiting for both teams to kind of do their lineup here. We'll see if our theory kind of holds out there. You get Diva out of the way. We're going to see a lot of range come into play. Are we going to see a Widow maybe, possibly?
We did get a sneak peek at a Widow for a few seconds on King's Row. We are going to be seeing a Widow from Plunderer. Lucky on Hazard.
Well, we're going to be, you know, we're running a very different lineup here. So
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
can Lucky get
How good of you.
and with King on Widow, looking for, you know, sometimes you could just run Widow. You just make them respect your position, and your position alone is enough to kind of zone teams out because they have to respect it. He's going down quickly, the fast feet on Sojourn, so. But the cart is advancing here, so.
Cajun, I believe fast speed is on a Lari.
Yes.
We got the Plunderers spread out a little bit here. And we've got...
Taking a lot of space off of it, though.
Yeah, but Lucky's...
Widow
Batman
gonna pick
goes
up
down.
Batman. Just shut down the enemy Freya.
I'm glowing, aren't I? The payload is in my possession.
And yeah, the King's pick on Widow here. Are they going to stick with it through second stage? Don't know. Maybe toss the ult and swap. You know, sightlines are a lot shorter here. But solid pick here from the Widow. Buying space, buying time, and forcing Odyssey to kind of rotate around this Widow pick.
Making Freya choose that line of sight before stepping around the corner. We will see Ball harassing Widow now, though.
Yeah, I don't expect Widow to be here in second stage.
No, we already see the switch to back to Sojourn.
And now we're going to be settling in here because, yeah, the Plunderers made a good strategic choice here. Now we got to actually do some real work and see if Odyssey can hold that. And I think they have the comp. They've got Ball to kind of disrupt Plunderers as they try to get into the point. You've got Freya on Batman, just able to take advantage of these little picks right here and there.
Omega coming in with a lot of work as Genji, just putting a lot of pressure onto them.
Yeah. I love Lucky on Ball here. This is a great pick for Odyssey.
Yeah, Ball is able to just harass Plunderers' backline so much, keep them from taking a lot of space, constantly make their supports reposition.
And again, Plunderers sent back to spawn to reset and regroup. But we're going to be having ourselves a little ult cycle right now. Can Ant get production? I think he's going to be initiating here pretty quick. Got the Ilari healing out of the way. And see, that's what I see on Omega. We got Odyssey is opening up with their ball alt.
And Odyssey is really keeping them at a distance, which is stopping Plunderer from being able to get a whole lot of value here. Odyssey playing the long lines and range, really hindering Plunderer's push here.
Job here on Freya. Now both teams again, rinse and repeat. And Odyssey's doing a great job. They're burning time. They don't have to commit to getting a kill. Just get out of our space. Go back to spawn. Get out of here. We're just going to burn a lot of time.
Blade is going to pull the Lucio ult.
Yeah, that's the danger of Omega. Sometimes you get a little bit too much out there, and this is the danger that Odyssey has found itself in time and time again, when they get that one player down and they really struggle to recover from that.
Ant is going to take Freya out of the fight here. We might see Plunderers get some more distance, maybe even
Lucky
second
has
point.
to play big. Lucky just has to play big here. Because now he can just buy time, buy time, buy time.
Ball is really good at just harassing a payload and never dying.
The Odyssey Cavalry showing up here. This is going in Odyssey's way.
Lucky putting every ounce of fight they've got into holding this payload from going any further.
Lines are out, and Ant is low.
Ant not able to push point. We will see the cart start. No, well, Omega decided to make a return here.
Omega's doing good.
We do have Batman back in the fight as well.
Oh, Ant
Plunderers
goes
will
down.
be sent back to spawn.
So,
30 seconds remaining.
Plunderers are coming up. Ant has his ult. It's the last. It's smoke him if you got him. It is 20 seconds. Gotta make production here. Ant's gotta get something done here. There's no way around this. You're the big person with the tank, with the ults. Gotta get that space.
Will they get the space is the question.
The key for Odyssey is just keep Lucky alive. That's it.
That does seem to be the key here.
There's no mystery. Just keep Lucky alive. We are OT. I think even if Odyssey doesn't hold this point, even if they don't hold this point, they've accomplished what they needed to, which is just burn a lot of time from, well, you know, I wouldn't say disastrous, but not what they had hoped for first stage. So Omega's going
Omega
in there.
is going to try to take Ant out of the fight. Is unfortunately not able to deal enough damage. We might still see Ant fall here, however. Odyssey said GG, go next.
Great
Team
hold. Great hold.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Oh, well. Hey, what do you think about Odyssey? I think they
Man,
did an
you know,
exceptional job. I think, the Plunderers was able to, like I said, tactically get the Widow into play and just use that as a leverage. And then once second stage came, that was the real fight. And to me,
that
Odyssey did
was
an exceptional job.
Widow did very good controlling the open sight lines of first point, but the moment you get all that extra cover from second point, Widow doesn't really matter anymore. And Odyssey took full advantage of that. I mean, the Lucky coming out as the ball, just immediately taking the Widow out of the fight. Batman just applying pressure as Freya.
What are your thoughts on the Torb pick?
I loved it because they were going after Genji.
Yeah?
I thought the Torb pick was
Okay.
excellent because it gives you just that extra thing that has to be
deal with.
Yeah, it has to deal with. It can also go after ball. I think Torb should have been brought out sooner, but nonetheless, he's here now.
Orb has decided he is here to stay.
And we're seeing Lucky making that space like he did so good on defense. Can he translate that into offense?
It did appear to work for a little bit, but I think Plunderers may have gotten wise to it, keeping enough people in the back line that Lucky doesn't have as much target to harass.
Yeah, for Plunderers, the mistake is going to be getting too separated out. Right now we've
And
seen
that is
Lucky.
exactly what's happening right now. Lucky just pushed Bap almost to the second door.
And Fast Feet doing some. We haven't talked about Fast Feet too much on Alari here, but I saw them again with that turret out there, that healing turret out there, at many times. You're involved in the fight, and then deploys the healing turret mid-fight, so they can't really be dealt with, and they're getting a lot of sustain off of this from Odyssey. So I love what Fast Feet's doing here.
Odyssey is definitely getting a lot of help off this Ilara. Like, Fast Beat just seems to know exactly when that healing pod needs to go down and puts it exactly where it's needed every time. We will see Ant back on Winston here.
Yeah, and I think this is a good answer for the mobility that Odyssey is bringing. Especially with the Genji, that Omega's running right now. It gives them another tool to deal with Odyssey's high mobility comp.
Omega said ban Vendetta, that's fine. I'll bring the other swordsmith out.
And we've got alt cycles coming up right now.
Oh, this is brutal.
And Plunderers down to just 3 right now. Might be seeing the Ana lost here.
Yeah, they Odyssey. Oh, Omega getting a critical kill there.
Man, just taking down Ant and Torb, just taking 2 of the big players out of position. They will take it.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey with
Evens
the
it up.
comeback.
Also, if you take a note, Fast Feet has 6k damage and 3.6 heals. It shows that you don't necessarily need to heal as a support to get the win.
It's called support for a reason.
Yeah.
Not healer. That's the old
Fair
adage.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, tell that to everybody in my elo. Agent. Oh man, sorry.
Oh boy, we are all tied up.
Man, I Odyssey bringing it up to 2-2. The curse may live on. Can Plunderers turn it around and just secure that victory.
Well, as much as the Plunderers were riding high at the end of their second map here on Lijiang Towers, you know, they won on King's Row. They you know, they had Lijiang Tower locked down. And then Saravasa, we had a roster change from Odyssey. And Saravasa, things started to change around a little bit. And so Odyssey has now found success. And that means that the Plunderers have to adapt. Where, you know, maybe Saravasa, it's a one-off, we try to bring our game. Maybe, you know, maybe can kind of shrug that. Well, you can't shrug off a second map going down. Now you have to make adjustments because Odyssey has found a formula for success, and they're going to leverage this into, because we're going into map 5. And this is for all the marbles. And hero selections, map selections, hero bans, all of it is going to play a factor. And I still think Plunderers has most of the keys to win this. But dang, Odyssey's doing good. Man, Odyssey's doing so good in adapting.
I think they're PPP struggling with the dive. So in my comp games, I would just go Brig. But then again, I don't know, what are your guys' thought on like choosing Brig over
Brig
to like
can
help?
definitely help mitigate a lot of the dive issues. Just whip shotting a diving in enemy away will buy your team a decent chunk of time to focus the target down.
Yeah, because it seems like RC Scylla's specialty is dive, whether it's the ball or the Doomfist comp with Genji,
And
Tracer.
you're right, and you're not really seeing much from Plunderers to try to mitigate that dive. We did see Ana for a little bit, but I don't think I ever saw a target slept.
Well,
Yeah, but I feel like
Go ahead.
tough. Oh no, I was gonna say I feel like Ana's so tough because I mean you're saving sleep for the ball, but then ball baits all the cooldowns, and then Genji dashes in, and then you're just gone.
Yeah,
So,
it's really hard. You have to make
yeah.
that split-second decision. Is it worth wasting cooldown and CC on the ball versus watching for that Genji that's just waiting for it to happen so they can dive you?
And it could
Brig kind of gets the best of both worlds on that one because you don't have to whip shot the ball swinging into it, getting Inspire up and going. That ball's going to provide healing for your team, and then just hold the whip shot for the diving Genji.
And by going Brig, you know, what do you give up? Because it's a dilemma.
You give up. Potentially, you give up Kiriko for the Suzus, or you give up Lucio for the speed and the boops. But I don't know. I mean, because they did, like you said, they selected Torb, and both of y'all said Torb was really it's nice against a dive, something to the turret, an extra thing to stare at and get rid of. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you also
Hard to
have to
problem
kind
solve.
of weigh it. Like the turret is great for kind of poking at a Genji that may be coming up your back line, but at the same time, it's so easy to get that turret down that it really only buys your team 2.5 seconds or so before the turret's just gone.
So, heroes have been banned. And we're rolling into the last map here. Just to recap, so on King's Row, we had Kiriko or Ramatra out. On Lijiang Tower, we had, you know, Genji and Domina out. And then we had Wrecking Ball and Echo out for Saravasa. And for this last one, we had, you know, Vendetta and Diva. What ban, you know, are any of these heroes eligible again? Like, I think Vendetta and Diva are not eligible because they were picked on the previous map. No, obviously we had, you know, can they call Wrecking Ball again? Can they call Genji again?
Plunderers might want to call the ball because that does seem to be their weakest link here. They do not know how to handle Lucky on ball.
So if they've already banned Wrecking, if PPP has already banned Wrecking Ball, they cannot ban Wrecking Ball again.
Okay, so once you ban it,
Mhm.
it's out no matter what. Okay.
Yeah, for your team. So like, I mean, Odyssey Scylla could do the troll and like ban Wrecking Ball for themselves.
I don't think they're
Uh,
gonna do that. They're
nah, too much at stake.
too much at stake here. But you know, the map selection is going to be critical, and then of course the bans follow the map selection here. So let's see what we've got. You know,
it's going to be tough here. We will see a Zarya ban from Odyssey.
and so we've done control, we've done escort, we've done flashpoint, done hybrid. So now we're on to push. Is Runasapi going to be coming back? That seems to be the popular pick when it comes around to push. And if it is Runasapi, what do you ban on Runasapi?
They picked Coliseum.
Oh, did they pick
they
Coliseum?
went
Or have they
Coliseum.
already picked? Oh, my bad.
Which I think Coliseum is a smart pick. PPP doesn't have a great track record on Runasapi. Also, I love the rework on Coliseum. It's so pretty. With Vendetta taking over. Talon.
Odyssey is taking Zarya out of the rotation.
Still waiting on the ban from PPP.
But I think Zarya is obviously a solid pick. For Coliseum, it's a little bit more lane driven, and you know those grabs, they can just grab your whole team. You know, what I mean, it's the flanking routes aren't as prevalent as you would find on other maps. So good selection there. And both teams have had production on Zarya, so with Odyssey, Emery. And we haven't seen Emery play.
We haven't seen Emery all night.
They're if it's for Batman, they're specifically banning Batman Zero. I did get a comment that we do need to swap the team names around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes I lose track of who's on which team here.
No, all good. Yeah, so I guess Batman had a Diamond 4 game where they had 68 elims and only died 6 times, while everyone else on the team had maybe like 20-some-ish elims and died 13 to 15 times. And yeah, they still lost, but like I don't know, I'd be happy regardless of the win or loss. I'd be like, I know I'm the GOAT. That's all that matters.
So definitely a targeted ban here for sure. Like Faye said, we haven't seen Emery all night, but Batman is in the lineup. Odyssey has been shuffling their lineup a little bit and going after a DPS comfort pick. I don't even know if it's comfort. I think Emery's just a very strong new hero.
I have definitely been enjoying some time playing as Emery. It feels like just the best of both worlds between like Soldier but with Bap's gun.
Yeah, now Odyssey, I wouldn't be changing the lineup if I was Odyssey. Look,
I would leave it as it is.
As is. You've had such a success. Leave it as is.
I mean, it's one of those, like, if you get knocked out in this round of playoffs, this is the lower bracket. So
Yeah, one person drop out of Odyssey's team there. Well, might be
Uh-oh.
We have a
Yeah, there's
first
definitely
pause.
yeah, there's 5 pauses in total. Each pause is 3 minutes long. Geeks.
Okay, so it looks like their internet died, which is what caused the drop.
And Odyssey is hoping that fixes it. So I don't know. I mean, if they're if it's been playing together for a while, they might have each other's cell phones and doing a quick text message over to them and saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" But Odyssey does have options. You know, they can put Fearless back in. They weren't having a lot of. I mean, when Daphne was in on tank, they weren't having a lot of success. So, making the roster line up and changing it around a little bit more.
I will be really surprised if Odyssey makes any changes here.
There we go. We got Enfer in the lineup.
Omega over here asking the important questions.
I don't think that's he's asking for those that see on the screen there, if he disconnects mid match, can somebody swap into his role? Technically, I'm not sure that's possible here.
I had to double check that rule book.
I'm not sure it's a rulebook issue. I think it might be, just the standard Overwatch. Once you're on the tank, I don't think you can, move into something else. But could be wrong on that. Maybe the code that we're using allows a lot of flexibility in that area.
Double checking DC. So DCs, teams are allowed to swap player in between maps, but not in the middle of a round, with the exception of a disconnection. If there's a DC in the middle of a round, teams will be allowed to make one qualifying player swap for the rest of the match, meaning if any succeeding DCs were to happen where the player cannot get back into the game within the allotted pause, teams can either finish the map, down the player, or forfeit that map and move to the next. If teams need to find an emergency ringer due to the DC, teams can forfeit a map and gain 10 minutes to secure a qualified ringer.
Okay. Straight from the rule book.
We have the answer.
Batman's coming out. Fearless is going in.
That is interesting. I don't know if I'd be making any changes.
I don't agree with that at all. I would keep him in. We're going through the rules again. So if Enfer does disconnect, then there can be a swap. They can switch roles, but you can't bring another player in.
No. I think Omega is wanting to swap roles in the moment for the player to come in on their main role. Reed, if I'm understanding what Omega is asking here, if Enfer was to drop, Omega is asking if they can swap down to support so Batman could come in as DPS.
So technically Omega can swap because they are registered for all roles.
Yeah.
So Batman can swap in?
So that would that not constitute 2 swaps with Omega dropping to fill support and Batman
That
coming
would
in?
technically be 2 swaps, which I guess technically wouldn't be.
Well, we're down to technical, you know. A door that's technically an inch off will not close.
Yeah, it looks like we having an argument in chat about it. I
Well, we're
understand.
here to cast. We're not here to interpret rules. That's for sure.
Right,
So.
right. That's what Mighty's for. That's on Mighty. We're just here to maybe entertaining.
You know, we do have a lot of big storms rolling across the country. Maybe he's being impacted by that right now. Because if it was just a one-off, I don't think there'd be this much discussion. But if there's discussion in teams of, hey, look, guys, I'm under tornado warning. I've got severe thunderstorm warning. I just had the power blink. You know, these are issues outside of my control.
Inford did say early on before we started that their internet might take a dip. Batman is not eligible, looks like. Ooh, that would leave, if Inford does drop, that would leave Odyssey without a support fill.
Yeah, so Emperor responded to my message, and well, I sent them a message back on February 19th. They're asking about DC happenings, and I said, as long as the flex support is eligible to play DPS and the person benched player is eligible to play support, then that's fine. So that means anyone who's benched. And then they said to clarify, as long as the proper DC and everyone is registered on the roles, they would swap. It's allowed. And I said, correct, that's my understanding. But my understanding was what I wrote was the benched player. So anyone's benched, which is Batman and Daphne, are the only ones that can swap in.
Yeah, okay. And this roster does show that that would leave Odyssey at a disadvantage if Inford drops here.
So discussion going back and forth. You know, for leagues, well-written rules are not to handle the sunny day scenarios. Rules are there to handle the one-offs and the weird conditions. So that's what they're here for. And so that's why it's important for leagues to have clear rules, because when they are called upon, it is going to be in situations like this that are suboptimal. And if they're quoting the rules directly and they're making a case, you know, the rules are the rules.
So Enfer asked a clarifying question, and I said corrected, that's my understanding, which Ant just wrote, either you misunderstood Mighty or she misunderstood you when you were asking, but either way, the rules are the rules for a reason, and they were out before the season started, which Ant is correct. So...
Well, you did read the from the handbook for us, so Cajun and I had a better understanding, and I kind of gotta agree with Plunderer's take here on it. If Batman's only registered for the damage roll, I would consider it 2 swaps.
Yeah,
If Omega drops the support.
If he's correct, and I suspect it is because most leagues are run this way, you know, swapping a player in is eligible after the current map is done. You don't get to swap while the map is being run. Now, if these rules are different that allow this, but they're saying no, you cannot A, swap roles mid-map, and B, put a player in on a not eligible role. So,
well, I think they're talking about that specific because Mighty did say they get a 3-minute timeout, and if they don't reconnect, a ringer can come in.
Yeah, but maybe it's all for naught if he stays. You know, you've got to run the gauntlet here for 10 minutes. We're off to Coliseo.
Tensions are rising between the two teams. I am curious to see if Odyssey vents it by just steamrolling Plunderers here.
Ready for battle.
All right, both teams got their been lucky on Doomfist. No surprise there at all.
We will be seeing Ant back on Domina. It looks like minus the Echo, Plunderers is going to try their original lineup again here.
So Ant trying to hold them off, but it's going to be depth to Lucky. Who can Lucky go after the back line? King
may not even have to. Lucky just immediately diving into Ant and almost securing the kill with the Vendetta.
But Omega goes down, so they trade it out, but Odyssey is advancing the card.
Lucky and Omega bought a lot of space for their team there. You can tell Odyssey is definitely not happy about what's happening. Man, in that moment of silence, so much happened here. Plunderers is fighting their hearts out, but Odyssey is just refusing to give up or back down.
They've got a lot of... It's hard for Plunderers to target focus this comp.
Man, Doomfist, Vendetta, Lucio just diving on the targets that need to be dove. Pushing them back, securing the kills. We might see Doomfist drop here. Never mind, going to Meteor Strike to pull out.
And Odyssey keeps attacking the card here, doing... Hey,
man,
you know, Lucky's doing a great job on Doomfist here. They've got to find an answer.
They have to. Lucky is pulling every cooldown out of every hero that they come up against. They do not have an answer for this.
And I think it's going to be, you know, if you're going to be run this, I think King, you know, this is a time to shine, or they're going to have to they've got ults coming up right now. Ant is, you know, on ult here, and they've got to get production out of this for this next fight. Ant's
We
got
will
it.
see them get some distance here on the point. I'm curious to see if they're going to try to project this next fight into a narrow hallway to get as much utility out of their ults as they can. Vendetta said that they did not care Lucio ulted here. Just immediately wipes Sojourn, picks up the Kiriko right behind it, is going to grab Lucio too.
Omega on Vendetta has been a powerhouse all night long with Vendetta.
Man, Cajun Odyssey is pissed, and they are showing it. They are dictating every single second of this fight. They are giving Plunderers no quarter. There will be no surrender or hostages.
Yeah, it's up. It's going to be up to the Plunderers DPS to respond a little bit here and coordinate and focus and get somebody knocked out of this fight. Right now, Lucky's taking out Flambeau.
Man, Lucky is just unstoppable on that Doomfist, which Plunderers really hasn't had an answer for Lucky on tank all night.
And we're bringing up the old tab here. We're looking, you know, nobody's really standing out. They're playing a little bit. Ant has gone down a little bit too much. Great pulse there by Fearless. That's what they need. That's what they need to stay in this.
The enemy's pushing. Let's take care of them. They're empowered and ready to fire.
Man, Ant trying their hardest over here is about to walk into 3 of the enemy team.
Yeah, Lucky.
And Ant will go down.
Yeah, they
Odyssey back in control of the point. Like,
they don't have a good answer for Lucky right now.
They do not. Lucky is doing whatever they want to do.
So if they're going to, you know, run Domino, I think they need to really kind of, they got to hunker around Domino a little bit more brawling.
Yeah, man, you've really got to support your tank in this one. Like, if everyone gets together, Lucky doesn't have as many good solo targets to dive. It makes it just a little bit harder on the enemy team when you have to fight the whole team at the same time. But see, they bundled together here for the final hold, and it worked in their favor.
Yeah, that's what they need to do now throughout. And they've plenty, there's 4 minutes on the clock here. They can adapt. This is well within, this is very salvageable.
Plunderers could still turn it around here. There is plenty of time.
We did have Key get from Tracer to Venture, and I like that swap.
Venture's always nice to have into a dive-heavy comp because you can reposition yourself. Vendetta not going to pick up anything with their ult. And will go down to Yakko.
Yeah, we've got to get Lucky's, and they burned Rush, so now they're committing.
There
ults.
goes Beat.
Committing the sustain.
Lucky's going to come in and move Ant out of position. This might be the turnaround.
You know, King on Soldier.
Odyssey's going to take control of the bot again. Made enough space, bought enough time that they have retaken control. Ant's going to solo commit here.
That might
Ant is
be a
going to lose
mistake.
their life for it.
That's a
yeah,
mistake.
that's. I don't know if I would have made that same decision.
Well, sometimes you get into these fights and you want to get back in there and contest because they're, you know, the cart's right there, but taking an extra 5 seconds would have been a totally different fight.
Venture's going to get caught in the corner, and Vendetta's going to put them down.
Man, this is all going Odyssey's way right now.
They have controlled these last 4 engagements entirely. They have controlled the last 2 matches entirely, and they are going to make the third the same. Plunder's going to throw ults here, try to hold these last couple of inches, and I don't think it's going to go their way.
Yeah.
They let that Vendetta live too long.
They're trickling in one at a time now. It's not organized. They can't. Tough to make individual plays.
Odyssey, Lucky, or I'm sorry, Omega, Lucky, and Fearless have been controlling these fights. And that's going to be it.
Reverse sweep.
Plunderers are
indeed.
going to get reverse swept. The curse continues.
Play of the game.
Man, Vendetta just clearing the enemy team.
Yeah. Wow. That was a match tonight. Odyssey coming from behind down 2 maps, turning it around on Cervasa with a different lineup, and able to take Junkertown with some really good, ball play, really good sustain, really kind of keeping the Plunderers off their toes, and then we go into Colosio, and they just ran a dominating map here. They had, with Lucky on Doom, they just did not have an answer for Doomfist, and with Omega on Vendetta, they had 2 big problems. They weren't able to really respond to. I agree with you. I think they should have hunkered down on Domina a little bit more. And
they had the tank to make a difference there. Domina can really control a dive comp, but the team just did not circle around and give any protection to Ant.
Yeah, so this was a great Mighty, was this the first match of the playoffs here tonight?
Well, technically it's the second playoff, so Dogs versus Athena, and Dogs won 3-0.
But for initial playoffs here, I think this was a great matchup. Really hoped everyone, I don't know, Mighty, sometimes you have people come in to give us a little after action report.
Yeah, we're gonna have some MVP, so I'll let you two kind of duke it out. I will say from
MVP.
Yeah, I think from
Omega
PvP
definitely.
Yeah,
Omega
well,
and Lucky.
I'd say from PvP, I would say either Flambo Jumbo or Ant. I think both of those were really good.
Yeah, now Ant and Flambeau, like, they brought it out strong on those first 2 matches. But man, Omega and Lucky really turned that tide. I don't know, Cajun, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Omega. I think, yes, there's a big, strong case here for him to be, for it to be Flambeau Jambo. You even got Play the Game on Cervasa, was absolutely dominant on King's Row. But when it push come to shove here, I think the Omega just stepped up in a way that it's just too hard to ignore here, because what we saw ult after ult, there was one ult maybe didn't get as much production as we would have expected or liked, but for the most part, I think for me it's Omega.
I'm inclined to agree. Like, Omega, They turned it around. They started off a little bit on the weaker side, but then towards the end they took control and they started dominating.
Yeah, and yeah, their Vendetta play was a little on Lijiang Tower was a little kind of finding the groove, you know, getting picks, making an impact, but then sometimes overextending, and then when they would overextend, you know, they couldn't really get out, and that left the team down. Then Plunderers would come in and take the point, and then they really couldn't get back into it once Plunderers got control. So, but got your sea legs, got everything going again. So, yeah, for me, it was Omega with a strong nod to, was it Rambo Jambo or
Flambo Jambo. Flambo Jambo. Yep.
And would have been my backup pick here. Lucky was making a big impact on tank as Doomfist. I mean, we can't. That was a change, because remember, Daphne was tank first 2 map picks, and then we had Fearless come in, and tank went over to Lucky, and then Lucky started playing Doomfist on Saravasa. So case could be made for Lucky because he's making all the space, but man, Omega's just right up there too.
Yeah. What about like the supports, like on Fast Feet for
Fast Feet?
both of
Yeah,
both of y'all said that like Alari was really impactful.
Alari was up there. I guess going down to both teams had great players throughout the match. It comes down to Coliseum. Coliseum was the defining thing. Which player stepped up in the big game? And to me, that was Omega.
Yeah. See, I agree, but man, Lucky really came in clutch, especially on ball. Like both Lucky and Omega stepped up and just turned everything around.
Would you say without Lucky creating all that space, the DPS wouldn't have those openings to be so flashy as they are?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like Lucky on both ball and Doom was making a colossal amount of space for their team. Like there's no denying that. But Vendetta's and Genji's ability to just get in, secure a kill, and get out with or without space. The space definitely made it easier. Because, I mean, there was a lot of times that, I mean, Omega was just dead center of the fight, 4 people around them, and just not backing down.
Yeah. So,
yeah, we did agree Flambo Jambo for...
Yes, Flambo Jambo definitely for PPP.
Okay. And then we're still... Oh, I will note, Omega Doggo has been MVP several times for their excellent DPS gameplay. So if you're gunning for Omega Doggo, it makes sense. They've shown their worth and their grit.
Because you know, it was Coliseum was, hey, the big players got to show up and make big plays. And what did we see? We see Omega on Vendetta hitting ult after ult and getting production, and even in between ults, able to work with Lucky on Doomfist and get up into their backline and get those picks. And that's why we were commenting that the Plunderers should have played a tighter game with Domina and stayed closer, because Omega was running a comp that could target any lamb that strayed from the flock and get on them so quickly that the supports really struggled to even, adapt to that. And here we are. We're looking at Odyssey as the winner tonight, and quite frankly, a kind of a dominating Coliseum.
Yeah, like they vented some frustrations in that match. You could tell there was no quarter given. They did not give Plunderers a chance to breathe. They slipped one time, and that was it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So wait. So who did you guys decide? There's a lot of discussion.
We said Omega. Omega's our player of the game.
You did?
MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, Omega.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna be pulling in a Fast Feet and Infer. I did tell them both that they need to be civil and respectful, and that whatever happened in chat when we were clarifying the DC issues needs to stay in chat. And that I don't want to kick any teams because of poor sportsmanship. So they both said they understand. So I'm going to bring them in.
Several weeks ago. Ooh.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations to the both of y'all. This was pretty nitty gritty. When we were talking about reverse sweeps because that's something that that PPP has happened to them like it was 2 times 1 week, and then the next week they got reverse swept. So chat was also mentioning that it might happen again because they're notorious for it, and it looks like y'all pulled it off. So I'm excited to hear the questions from the casters, but congrats.
As a wise hot dog once said, we either 3-0 or we reverse sweep.
Well, you definitely reverse sweep tonight. God almighty,
I think the first question for me is, there was obviously a lot of discussion after Kings Row did not go your way. Was there, what were you guys talking about? Because we're looking at a good 10 minutes to choose hero bands and get the map going. What was there talk on Kings Row just didn't get executed right, or you had the right strategy, just didn't work out? Your thoughts?
I think it was first map curse.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, because for like a lot of our, and it's not just like matches for us, it's scrims too, but every first match or first scrim that we have, we always end up losing it, or like losing first point and coming back, or just, it's kind of a curse for us. So we kind of just took it as, hey, it's our curse, wash it off and keep going.
Well, the first, especially into a team you've never played before, the first map and the first fight will dictate a lot. It gives you a chance to poke and prod the enemy team to see their weaknesses and their strengths. So would you say it's a curse, or more so just a tactical disadvantage?
I really do think it's a curse, because there's been times where we can, like, especially control maps, we can get the first map curse on just the first point, and then be okay the next point, or the next 2 points, I suppose. But it's kind of harder when it's a longer map like Kings Row.
And so you went into Lijiang Tower, and another map that it looked like you guys would get control from our 20,000 foot view. We're not in the game here. We have the luxury to talk about these things. You would do a good job in the neutral or in the initial engagement, and then you would get the point, and then an overextend would usually happen, and you would lose the point and just never could get through the Plunderers defense on those points. Was it a lack of combination on the ults? Was it a lack of what is your takeaway from here on not really being able to punch back through Plunderers defense on once they got the point?
Do you feel like it's only micro things?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're making small mistakes that we need to correct on, and I know on second point it was kind of our alt usage. We had the point capture, we should have won it, but then we used a little too many ults on that last fight when we thought we had secured it and hadn't. A lot of it also comes from our target focus, where you kind of start on a target and then kind of fade off from that target and kind of call different people, so we're not fully paying attention to that one person, as well as more so in the aspect of we're getting our first picks and then we're not following through with it. So that's definitely another problem that we have to overcompensate for as well.
And
which felt really rewarding to get better at towards the end of the match. Like, once we started like being a refined machine, it felt awesome.
And that energy went into Saravasa. And you had a lineup change. So we had Daphne come out, and you had, I believe, Fearless come in, and we swapped over to Lucky as tank on Doomfist. Is this was this a change because of what Plunder's doing, or are we looking at a comp you guys had already pre-rolled for Saravasa?
I feel like Saravasa is more of our, like, we usually run him on Saravasa because he's more like our go fast comp. And then we kind of realized that was working and kind of played the rest of the maps out with it, kind of keeping the momentum going and keeping up the pace.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it's a reaction to what the Plunderers were doing, but it was more so we were sitting there thinking like, okay, we just lost these 2 maps. We get map pick. We want to win. Let's do our strongest map with our strongest comp and just go for it. If we lose, then oh well. But if we win, then we have another chance.
Yeah, and you took it in a 3-0. I mean, it was...
Yeah, like, I mean, it was a night and day difference, guys. Like, you just... I kind of want to know what was going through y'all's minds the moment y'all stepped out into that map and just decided enough is enough. It is ours now.
You know what I would describe it as? You ever get back to a hobby after not doing it for a long time, or like going back to a game that you haven't played in forever, and suddenly everything just starts to make sense? You don't have to think. You just do.
Yeah, you kind of get in that flow state, and I feel like that first point on Cervasa was like an eye-opener and a game changer for us, because that really the 4-minute fight on first point for that 99 both teams, we knew that we needed to secure that point in order to get the ball rolling, but I feel like once we got that, it really heated it up for us, and then we just kept the flow on.
Like I said, well-oiled machine. When you run a map that you've played a million times and like you get down to such a point where all the mistakes you make are so small and you refine it to a point.
Yeah.
So would you say from there you were operating more on muscle memory, less on thoughts?
I would say so. The way that I kind of see it is because we've played it so much, it's more of like we get used to it, we're playing it, we're having fun. And that's kind of what we did is we didn't think of it as, hey, this is a match. We thought of it as like, hey, this is our game. Let's stop playing their game. Let's play our game. And then we went from there.
And after Cervasa, it really felt like all of the micro things that we were spending a long time, like making sure we remembered to do, just melted away and we locked in.
Yeah, and I saw that coming into Junkertown. We saw that Plunderers had picked Widow, and Widow was just taking position away that you guys wanted to take. And because of that Widow pick, you know, they were able to kind of get through that first stage, but we were commenting that it's like, okay, well, now the real match starts. And you got into that second stage, and I think Lucky was on ball at that point.
Yes, we had Lucky on ball. Batman was running Freya, and like the moment Lucky just started diving Widow, it just let Odyssey just rip into Plunderers.
And you guys stalled. You burned up so much time. Were there thoughts on, hey, we're going to run ball here to buy time, or was it a reaction to, hey, we got to deal with the Plunderers, you know, poke that they're throwing into our team? Was the ball for that or for the buying time?
I think it was just to live.
Yeah, we were kind of like, well, we're gonna pot what we do, Alari Kiri, I believe, and we kind of just at the point we were like, hey, I'm gonna throw Pylon. That's what we're gonna use for healing, so that I can get damage output, because I'm an old hit scan player. So we kind of just took that to our advantage through Pylon, used that, and then when Jaden did what Jaden was doing, we kind of just let him do his thing, as well as our coaches said, you know what, we've got ahead in this point. So just play who you want to play is basically what our tank was told. So we think we started off on the hazard, realized didn't work, swapped over to that ball to kind of pick up the pace a little bit and keep pressure.
Yeah,
I gotta say, like with Jaden playing ball, or Lucky playing ball, putting in a shift, Batman on the Freya just doing what he needs to do, and having Fearless keeping the tracers in check and keeping other people in check. Me and Fastbeat just got to be like free. We just got to shoot people and heal as needed.
Yeah, and Cajun and I were talking about that where because like we noticed like your Alari, just that Pylon went exactly where it needed to be when it needed to be.
Yeah, we were commenting that it was very strategically used, and I would see it deployed, you know, mid-fight, right time, you know, and just they couldn't pay attention to it. So it's if you pay attention to the Pylon, well, I'm going to pay attention to you. You know, you're causing a dilemma for the opposing team. You can either solve the Pylon or you can solve who you're focusing on, and hopefully you can just do that damage. So I thought the Alari was on Junkertown was a critical pick that worked out very well. And obviously, you know, they switching it around to the attack phase worked very well for y'all. You came through first stage, and really Plunderers were not able to buy the time that you did in the second stage. What were your team comms at that point? Once you won Junkertown, where you're like, okay, we're even now, we got this.
I think mostly the comms were, hey, we need to keep our egos in check right now. The game is still going. We still got one more round to go. We need to keep a chill mindset and not get too up into our egos, and like, because we don't necessarily have the strongest mental. We can usually get our mental back pretty quickly, but once it's lost for that map. So we basically just had a reset, said, hey, everybody just take a chill, because if we go in with a high ego and we get shit stomped in the first fight, our mental's going to be blown. We're going to lose it. So we just kind of needed to make sure we set that mental, like all took a breath, chilled out, and then went into the last map with basically a first map mentality.
So,
and they criticized me for wanting to take the 5-minute break because they were like, no, we have to keep going with the momentum. I'm like, no, I need to breathe. And so
I was a little curious about that.
Yeah,
when you opted for the 5-minute break. I was like, is this going to let Plunderers get it together?
They were all mad at me, and I was like, no, I need to like go for a walk. Give me like 5 minutes, bro.
No, that was
I have
great.
a quick question. So if the roles were reversed, and let's say you guys were on the PPP side, and you were going up against your guys' comp, what would you do to problem solve?
Quite honestly, I would just avoid the ball. Not even like avoid him, but just ignore him that he's there, if to the best of your ability, or even like play something that can give him a little less deniability.
What would you
or
play?
something. I'd probably play something closer to maybe a Junker Queen comp, like a Junker Queen, Cass, Tracer, Lukiri. So that way you can kind of keep up the pace kind of with the ball, or even play like a little bit of a tighter ball. So that way they're not as spread out, so you can get more advantage on kind of what the ball's doing.
Okay.
I like Feet's answer there. I know who you were wanting to hear, Owl, but I do like Feet's answer there. That was a very like that
Good
composition would have that would have made
I
ball.
I'm the guy who plays Kiri.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with Colossio was unfolding, were you... I mean,
Tempo was
Omega
so
was kind
aggressive.
of dabbling in Vendetta the whole night long. Started off on Lijiang, was a little hit and miss there, but it really seemed like he came into his own on Colossio. And was he coordinating with Lucky or Doomfist? Were they trying to calm and hit the same targets, or was it just hey, targets of opportunity and just go for it?
I do want to know what y'all's comms were that last match, because I even told Cajun, I was like, you guys were furious and y'all let it out.
If you joined in the last like 3 minutes, it's just constant talking.
I don't think
constant go here, like back forth.
The comms were definitely up in that last map, and Lucky and Hot Dog were definitely talking together, and as well as we made sure to give them the most opportunity as we could. I know that Jaden Lucky has kind of a hard time calming as a tank player, so we kind of know that we have to play a little bit slower, but we said, hey, this is our map, we're going to win this, let's lock in, get all the comms going, because if we can get comms going, then we can lock in, we don't have to worry about it, because we know that our tank player is a good player. It's just kind of the comm aspect of it is a little bit more difficult for him. So we kind of kept the comms going, kept the ball rolling, and then as much as we could said, hey, go here, go here, go here. So that way there was less work on him, so he could just focus on his ball, as well as us not having to focus on that like planning aspect of it, I guess.
I think it definitely also helps that before we went into the map, our coach was talking about the fact it's like you have the advantage here. number one, the map's advantage, number two, the bans. Like, they can't really ban anything against you, and if they play the characters that they're probably going to play, you can just keep going. And like, honestly, the past couple matches we haven't had our coaches in, but having a coach in between the maps has been really helpful.
It's a good centering, getting a perspective, because like I call it lizard brain. Once you're in the game, you lose some of that cognitive ability, and once you get out, having somebody say, okay, Rocky gets pulled into the corner, and the coaches keep working the body. Come on, Odyssey, keep working the body.
It feels good to have somebody reassure you on what you're doing right and how to improve whenever, you can't figure it out. Because it's tough being like leaving a map and then not having a coach there and being like, I don't know what we did wrong. I don't know how to fix it. And then having a coach being there being like, okay, do this, don't do that.
Right.
Do this comp, don't do that. If they do this, you got to go. Things like that.
So great matches are great opponents. Plunderers were an exceptional opponent. They took you down to the wire. Do you think going through tonight has prepared you better for your next match in the playoffs?
100%. We definitely noticed a lot of our flaws even at the beginning of the match. And then once we had the ball rolling, we kind of just kept it rolling, I guess.
I think every time that you play a game of Overwatch, you learn a little bit more. And I think this being such a nail biter down to 5 maps, especially against a strong comp like they were running, and some of their strongest players really helped punish where we were weak. And I think that was a really great experience for us to have.
Well,
I would like to know.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say I'd like to know for the upcoming brackets and stuff like that. Is there a particular team that Odyssey Scylla is looking forward to, or a little worried about matching up?
Dogs.
Or doing. Okay. Gonna do the extra research, or is there a particular reason why dogs, or?
I think we just were, I don't want to say embarrassed by our loss by them, but it was so winnable to us. It really was winnable. Our coaches ribbed into us like, yo, you guys could totally have won that. And I think, I don't know about Fast Speed, but I really want to win against them just to see that we did improve and like we can, learn faster.
All right, dogs, you heard it.
There you
Odyssey
go.
Scylla's out
They're
for
on
you.
the way.
Yeah.
We're coming.
All right,
Rematch.
tonight, well, from my side here, Cajun Wise Guy, Fillion, joining me on the casting, and Mighty Owl, thank you for running the lobby and providing feedback for me throughout the night. And this is Looking for Gold Scrims Winter Tournament Playoffs. We're going to be seeing you next game.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Well, GG's, everybody.
GG's, it was great games. Plunderers played amazing.
Alright, I'm gonna move you guys over to your.
Goodbye.
Man, I need those things.